If you're traveling to the South Island of New Zealand, Milford Sound is an absolute must-see. And if you're wondering how to visit Milford Sound and you're curious about staying the night on the Milford Mariner, then this is the video for you.
So we've just arrived. We're doing the overnight cruise. Apparently all these tour buses that are here are mostly day trips. They are absolutely full and all these people are getting ready to leave. So the common trip is a day trip from Queenstown down here to Milford Sound, and there are loads of people loading up and heading out of here. So this is what we're doing tonight, is the only overnight cruise on Milford Sound, and it is on the Milford Mariner, and we get to stay the night here. So we are arriving at the cruise terminal. Wow. At RealNZ, I've seen a lot of those ships around. Apparently that blue boat on the very end is the one we'll be on. There we go. Cabin 25.
This cruise is offered by RealNZ, which is a major South Island tourism operator that's based in Queenstown, and they specialize in nature-focused experiences.
Welcome, team. Just mind your steps heading through that door.
Thank you.
This is the real New Zealand. I sure hope so.
All right, watch your steps. Kind of dark in here.
Just make your way up the stairs for a quick safety briefing.
Hi.
How's everyone?
Good, thank you.
Hello.
Hi. To the second floor for the safety briefing. All right, and I'm on. Now, after the safety briefing and once we get settled in, I'll give you a nice tour of the boat. All right, folks, this is the room. I am sharing a room with a friend of mine, so we've got 2 twin beds. I have a feeling they're all probably 2 twin bed rooms. And then a little itty bitty bathroom, but that's all you need. And there is a little shower that I can't quite capture. And then look at the view out the window. You literally go right out the door. And if I can unlock it. Look at that. Look at that. Hello, beautiful. There's a hairdryer. There's a heated towel rack. There is air conditioning. It is kind of noisy. I've heard that, you don't necessarily get the best night's sleep on here, but who wants to sleep when you're out in this beautiful scenery here? So this is currently the upper deck of the boat. We were down on the second to the lowest deck. I'll show you here in just a minute. Let's see. This is the upper deck. We just took off. There's a lower deck here. And we're headed into one of the coves for the night. There's a spectacular waterfall up front there. And just a few minutes ago, they slowed down the boat to show us some dolphins that were playing in the water. And everybody is here enjoying the spectacular views. I'm going to turn the camera around and show you something pretty awesome. If you can see here. Now I've got a lot of people in the way. I don't want to get in everybody's picture, but let's see. Let me come around here. And you can see just how stunning it is with all the snow-capped mountains. And it is just hard to capture the grandeur of the height of these mountains on camera. All right, I'm going to continue my tour of the ship. Let's walk around towards the back. Here's the captain working away, piloting the ship. Back of the boat seems pretty quiet. Now there's a nature guide. Oh, these must be the little boats that they take us out on, I guess? Or are those the lifeboats? I don't know. I guess all the action is on the top and in the front. Let's just go do a loop around. Now the nature guide is talking and you can hear him in the speakers, so that's nice. So no matter how you walk on the boat, you can hear what he's explaining. There are waterfalls coming all down the cliffs. It's a fairly small boat. I think there's about 60 people on here tonight. And looks like the front of the boat's the place to be. It's apparently pretty rare to have such bright sunshine like this. And it's been really crummy weather for the past couple of days. And so they have you pack an overnight bag. We had a suitcase because we've been in New Zealand for 3 weeks. You had to leave that on the bus. And then we had to bring a day pack, really small because there's not much room on the boat. And I didn't bring my hat, and it is bright and sunny. So I think I brought the sunshine since I didn't bring my hat. If you want to get in position for the waterfall we're about to see. Now this camera is going to get put away real soon because we're about to get a glacial facial. They said they bring the boat right up close to the waterfall.
We were told this was the only overnight option on Milford Sound, but it turns out there is another one. It's called Fiordland Discovery. It's more of the luxury boutique experience. It's a lot more expensive. These cruises are really popular and they do sell out in advance, so I highly recommend that you book this as far in advance as you can. I'll have links in the description on where to book this tour, and by the way, this is not sponsored. I am just sharing my experience.
So on this cruise, they don't waste any time. Within 20 minutes, we were at the base of the waterfall. Now they're going to start the water activities. And so if you want to kayak or get on the boat or even jump in Milford Sound, you can. So I'm going to get my raincoat. I think we're going to take a little boat ride out there in the cove. And then the boat, I think, parks. And we are apparently lost. Can't seem to find my room. Excuse me. So, yeah, they don't waste any time. So even though it's kind of warm out, we're going to get our raincoats on and enjoy some water activities before dinner. We're pretty lucky to have a room with the view. There are a lot of rooms inside the center of the ship. So I think my friend has a status.
You're welcome.
With this group tour, which gave us an upgraded room, and that is awesome. So if you're booking this independently, you may want to look for that. All right, the next thing is the water activities. And so if you wanted to ride in the tender boat or get on a kayak, you needed to come to the back of the boat right away to get a life coat, a life jacket. So I did feel a little rushed. I didn't really hear that was the instructions, but we're back here all loaded up. If you want a kayak, the kayaks are right over here.
I'm gonna rock down the boogie down Bronx.
This will be our last person.
All right, last person.
Last person. 哎，我走了。我看穿上不行吗？
All I really ask from you guys is when I'm going fast, which is hard to do on a full boat anyway, just try and stay seated for me. But if we're just stopped like this or we're going really slow, I don't mind if you stand up to take photos and move around a bit.
Thank you.
Cool. If you drop GoPros, cameras, phones in the water,
Too bad.
I probably can't catch them.
Too bad, so sad.
If it's a hat or a beanie, I'll try and turn around for it.
wow.
And they are the only rainforest dwelling penguin.
Where is it?
So straight ahead of us, just below the tree line.
Oh, I see it.
Just shook its head.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I see it moving. It's on the path. Aw.
So did I sit down in your way?
I'm fine. We're fine. Oh, there he goes in the water.
So just to give you guys an idea on whereabouts we are in the fjord, this is called Harrison Cove. So we're going to stay here all night.
Yep.
But it's named after John Harrison, who invented the marine chronometer, basically creating a timepiece that worked out on sea where something moved. Because you can imagine all those years ago, the clocks were just a big timber piece in the corner of your room that had a pendulum. And those pendulums don't work very well on boats. So anyway, this invention allowed seafarers to accurately navigate around the world, because you need to know the time to be able to use longitude, and you use that with latitude and you can navigate anywhere you like in the world. Pretty awesome.
So I enjoy kayaking, but I think going on the boat is better, especially if you have the naturalist guys with you who can point out the wildlife. Did you see the crazies that jumped off the back of the ship? That is part of the standard package here on the overnight cruise. There's always a handful of people that go crazy and jump off in the cold water. It brings them life and it brings me total panic. I did not do it, but it was a lot of fun. And now after that, everyone's getting ready for dinner and enjoying a drink and getting ready. And I came out to enjoy the solace of the lake here. We are parked here for the night in this bay, and it is so beautiful as the sun is setting. Take one. The night got away from me and I'm getting quite tired, but dinner was phenomenal. I can't speak more highly enough about the food that was provided here on this cruise. And then you can go in the back of the ship and the naturalist on board gives you a great talk about the wildlife that you're going to see in the area and a little bit about the weather and the plants and the animals that are in this area. And then you get to go up the top and stargaze. And so far, any pictures or footage I have, I don't really have like a nighttime setup, so I don't think it's going to turn out very good, but it is magical. And you can see the Southern Cross. Tonight is a beautifully clear night where you can see the stars, which is pretty rare. Now when it is cloudy and rainy, you get the beautiful waterfalls all down the sides of the cliffs, but on a quiet night like tonight, you can see the stars. It's amazing. All right, look at this. Look at this. Beautiful morning. The sun has not come up over these enormous hills yet. So we had a great night. I did find out I'm not 100% sure that our room with the windows was a result of my friend's travel status. I don't know if you can purchase that or if it's luck of the draw. You just get the room that you get. Some had interior doors. These had exterior doors. Not all of them had windows. So just something to note. But it's really not important because it was nighttime when we went to bed and it was dark when I woke up, so there's really nothing to see. Anyways, after stargazing for a while up on the upper deck, which was incredible last night. We did just go to bed, and we came up, and now it's time for some breakfast. So at 6:45, they have a continental breakfast. At 7, the hot breakfast is ready. They do want you to eat by 7:30 because the crew needs to clear the kitchen, because they're going to take us out to see the Tasman Sea if they can, and the waters can get a little more rough. Now, they did ask that we have our beds cleared by 8 a.m. Even though we're on the boat till about 10, the crew comes in and makes the beds for the next crew of passengers even while we're still in our room. That helps them with a quick turnaround to keep the visitors coming and going when they have to change ships back at port. All right, see what the day has in store for us today. Now at this point in the morning, they do tell us to get all the drinks and stuff off the tables because we're gonna head out just a little bit out on the Tasman Sea, and the water can get rough, and so we don't want, you know, the coffee to spill off the table. And then we hug this coastline, but so far I didn't see any animals. I don't have the binoculars with me. If you have some small binoculars, it'd be a good idea.
We've just found one.
They found a penguin.
This is another one.
Where is it? Anyway, I was saying if you have small binoculars, it'd be a good idea to bring them on this cruise. Well, the penguins were playing hide and seek. They disappeared, but the guide try to turn the boat around and show you where the wildlife is. So we'll keep our eyes peeled, but I'm afraid I didn't catch that one. We've just passed the last itty bit tip of land, and we're headed out into the Tasman Sea, and the water got really rough on here. I was recording, but I think I accidentally deleted it. So it's this way to Antarctica and Argentina, somewhere like this. This is the farthest south I've ever been. And as we turn the boat around, we are going up and down quite a bit, and I just don't know if you can tell based on the camera's perspective, but this is a fun ride. They told us to hold on. There's everybody hanging on. Woo! There we go, back in. Bye-bye, Tasman Sea. This is a first for me. Wasn't too bad.
You haven't spotted them just yet. If you look at the large boulder,
Okay, that's what I thought.
Just about 5 meters to the left. There's one poking its nose up into the sky, and then there's another one that's not so camouflaged that's just moving. Around New Zealand. Thank you so much, team. Enjoy the rest of your day.
All right, we've made it back to the harbor. That was a stunning, stunning cruise. So today we're gonna head back towards Queenstown, and I'll show you some of the stops along the way, and then we finish our tour in Queenstown. We've got just a couple more days in that area.